Hi, and welcome to the Greenhouse Doctor at Greenhouse Stories, where I share with you some of my experiences in the greenhouse, the garden, and with aquaponics, and some of my experiments and consequently some mistakes, from which come some ideas that will help us together grow some of our own food. Let's take a look at today's topic. So, do we need to raise our seeds using grow lights when we're growing in a greenhouse? Now, some of you who are familiar with the topic and who live in climates that have very short days in winter and even in summer, you may know the answer to this. But here in Sydney, where even in the middle of winter, the sun rises at 8 o'clock in the morning and sets at 5 o'clock with some additional light hours on either side. So that's at least 9 hours of daylight. And I was of the opinion that you could grow and sow your seeds directly in the greenhouse. But let's show you some video clips so that I can show you the answer. It is a crisp autumn morning, 2 weeks shy of winter, and the sky is without a cloud. The sun is shining, and if you look at the light meter on two different light meters, just get that in focus, it reads at the top of the level and high on the second one. Now here is my seedling tray where all my seedlings are growing, and the light level currently is pretty good, high towards the upper end on the other meter, on the green meter, and the seedlings are raised high up so they get as much light as possible on this hanging basket, and yet they are still quite leggy. There was a period when they were not getting enough light due to a series of overcast days, or almost 2 weeks actually, and consequently they are quite leggy there. The other thing is, inside the greenhouse the polycarbonate attenuates the light and not 100% of the light comes through. Depending on how you angulate the meter, that's not too bad. Nearly a week later, and they've got true leaves on them, but still very leggy, as you can see. And over here you'll find some self-seeded, what appears to be tomatoes. So this is not by intention, but you can see the idea. Even though they're in pretty much the middle of the greenhouse, not obscured much by any other plant, they are extremely long and leggy. So they're not getting enough light. They're trying to reach for the light there. So here in the workshop with the grow light, you can see the seedlings that I've sowed recently. Now, what you can see here, this is the rapini right here. You can see they're very vibrant and growing much faster than the other plants. They were all sowed at the same time. In the back you've got bok choy. At the front and towards the rear you've got edible chrysanthemum, also known as chop suey, and over here is choy sum. So under the grow light you can see that the stems, although a little bit long, are nice and thick and robust, unlike in the greenhouse. Much like for the bok choy, and the edible chrysanthemum is growing nicely without getting thin in the stem. This one here, you can see it has been obscured by the light, by the adjacent, and it's a little bit thin. So that's what happens when it doesn't get enough light. It tends to want to reach for the light. So the bok choy and the rapini or broccoletti are now ready to be transplanted into the greenhouse, and I'll leave the others a little bit longer in here to get a little bit more growth in them. So definitely you still need a grow light if you're gonna sow seedlings and take vegetables from seed to grow. So plants in the greenhouse will tolerate the slightly reduced light in here due to the modification of light coming through these polycarbonate roofing and the panels on the side. And once they've developed their mature leaves, they'll be perfectly fine and healthy and be happy with that. Now if you have a look over here, the sun comes from this direction, and in that direction you've got baskets, big eggplant plants, and if you were to, for example, sow seeds directly into this area here, a lot of the time the sunlight will be obscured from that, and those plants will be reaching to get some sunlight as they are as young immature plants, and you'll get weak leggy seedlings. So the answer is yes, I think we need to start our seeds with a grow light, or somewhere where we can guarantee that the light will be significantly abundant for a prolonged duration, and even over a period of few cloudy days. I think seeds sowed outside can get quite leggy too. Anyway, that I hope answers the question. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time.